The Las Vegas Raiders aren't just sitting back, they're making moves. Right after rookie minicamp, the Raiders signed 6 new players. But why these specific players? What's the strategy behind it? Let's break it down. Before we dive into the details, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss out on breaking news from the Raiders Nation. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with linebacker Jaylon Smith. When this signing hit the news on Mother's Day, it raised eyebrows, especially for guys like Tommy Eichenberg. But it turns out the real fallout was Amari Burney, who the Raiders released to make room. So why Smith? 2 big reasons: experience and connections. Smith has a history with this coaching staff. He played under Patrick Graham with the New York Giants in 2021 and again last year with the Raiders. That familiarity, it matters a lot. And don't forget about Joe Woods, the Raiders' defensive assistant who worked with Smith in New Orleans last season. That kind of continuity isn't just a coincidence, it's part of a clear strategy. The Raiders are building a defense that understands the system before they ever step on the field. There's more to Jaylon Smith's signing than meets the eye. The Raiders aren't just bringing in a body, they're sending a message. Let's start with the coaching connection. It's no secret. The Raiders' staff values familiarity. Smith has already worked with Patrick Graham in New York and, again, briefly in Vegas. That trust, it's earned. And Joe Woods, now on the Raiders staff, coached him in New Orleans, too. Smith's presence isn't random. It's a calculated reunion. But there's another layer: resurgence. Smith didn't play in 2024. That downtime may have helped his knee recover completely. Defensive minds like Graham see potential in a comeback story. And at 29, Smith still has gas left in the tank. They're not asking him to be a superstar, just a stabilizer. The real issue? Inexperience in the linebacker room. Outside of Devin White and Elandon Roberts, it's thin. The Raiders came into rookie camp with question marks. Now they're answering those with veterans who've proven they can suit up and hit hard on Sundays. Look at the numbers: 88 career games, over 600 tackles, multiple seasons as a starter. More importantly, Smith brings leadership: a captain at Notre Dame, a respected voice in Dallas. The Raiders are building a locker room with identity, and Smith fits the mold. He may not be a lock to make the 53-man roster, but that's not the point. His job is to raise the standard, push the young guys, and remind everyone in that room nothing is guaranteed. Jaylon Smith's signing didn't just shake up the linebacker room, it sent a warning shot to every rookie fighting for a roster spot. The message was simple: no one is safe. Smith may not be the elite player he once was, but that's not why the Raiders brought him in. They brought him in to elevate the level of competition, to put pressure on the young guys, and to make it clear that experience still matters. But the Raiders didn't stop there. Quietly on Mother's Day, they added another name to the mix: Jonathan Sutherland. A former Penn State safety, Sutherland didn't make headlines, but if you know college football, you know the kind of leader he was. He spent 5 years at Penn State and became one of only 2 players in school history to be named a 4-time team captain. That's not luck. That's character. Now, will Sutherland make the final roster? Honestly, that's unlikely. But that's not the point. The Raiders are trying to build a culture, and that starts with effort, discipline, and leadership, all things Sutherland brings. He's a grinder, a special teams warrior, and someone who's going to give everything he has. Every practice, every rep, every meeting. That's what this staff is looking for, and that's why, even if his chances are slim, Sutherland's presence matters. It raises the standard for everyone else in the building. If you want to raise the level of your linebacker room, you bring in Jaylon Smith. If you want to shake up your special teams and get more fire out of your safeties, you bring in Jonathan Sutherland. The Raiders didn't just make moves, they made statements. This safety room, it's full of question marks: young, raw, and mostly unproven. Instead of spending big on a name like Julian Blackmon, Justin Simmons, or Quandre Diggs, the Raiders chose a different path. They picked grit over glamour. Guys like Smith and Sutherland might not be stars, but they force everyone around them to compete. That's the key word here: compete. That's what this new regime is all about. You could feel it at rookie minicamp. The intensity was real. Multiple rookies even admitted it felt more like college two-a-days than anything they expected from an NFL practice. Pete Carroll and John Spytek, they brought the heat. And now, more names have entered the fight. Let's talk about Jafari Harvey, a versatile edge rusher who played at SMU. He's not just a pass rusher, he's someone who can drop back in coverage, disrupt plays, and play special teams. 7.5 sacks, 31 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a blazing 4.64-second 40-yard dash. That's 89th percentile speed. Not elite, but explosive enough to get noticed. Now ask yourself, why so many SMU players? Something's going on here. Whether it's a coaching connection or a scouting pipeline, the Raiders clearly see something valuable in that program. Next up, Krhon Jackson Jr., wide receiver from Baylor. He joins a wideout room that's quickly getting deeper, faster, and more physical. And the moves the Raiders are making at receiver? They're sending a message too, but we'll get into that in the next segment. The Raiders are getting longer, literally. Krhon Jackson Jr. is 6 feet 3 inches, averaged nearly 20 yards per catch in 2024, and fits what the team is clearly chasing: length and vertical threats. They don't want defenses crowding the box. They want safeties backing up. And Jackson? He stretches the field. Also, that's the third Baylor player added after the draft. Now look at the wide receiver room, completely reshaped. A few months ago, it was mostly Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers. Everyone else? Roster bubble guys. Charles Rambo? Gone. DJ Turner? Gone. Tyreek McAllister? Fast but undersized? It was speed without size. So what did the Raiders do? They went and found length. Guys who can win contested catches if the ball is placed right. Think Jaylon Smith with precision. Who do you want out there going up for 50-50 balls? Big targets, long frames, reliable hands? That's the direction now. Next up, Keshawn Smith, another wideout, another SMU pickup, and another signal that the Raiders are loading up on depth. But Smith brings something different: explosiveness on special teams. Back in 2022, he led the ACC in kick return yards, 640 yards total, averaging 30.5 yards per return. That's elite territory. Before SMU, he played at Miami, yes, that Miami, where he caught 33 passes for over 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. What's going on here? The Raiders keep dipping into Florida, especially Miami. Hurricanes, Dolphins, doesn't matter. The talent pipeline is strong, and the team's clearly tapping into something, maybe even through connections like Tom Brady or Stephen Ross. Finally, Wesley Steiner, linebacker. Not a household name, but one thing stands out: speed. He ran a 4.42 at his size. That's not just fast for a linebacker. That's absurd. A scout told me, think of him like Kanai Mauga, except with jet fuel. He's a gunner. He's a special teams ace. And with the Raiders trying to sort out their kick and punt return units, adding someone like Steiner gives them options. Fresh legs, high competition, multiple roles. That's the vision. Right now, the Raiders are building depth with purpose, and every name added opens the door for something bigger.